than 10% of the strategies which are formulated effectively are executed. So 90% of them are not executed rightly. Over 60% of Fortune 1000 either have or they are experimenting with balanced scorecard. Many people perceive it as a nascent science or which is in making or where the research is still going on. But estimated that less than 30% of the organization with balanced scorecard are getting any business benefit, and that is mainly because of the poor construction of the balanced scorecard. Now, there are numerous misconceptions and misunderstanding about balanced scorecard. Okay. A few misconceptions are that it's a reporting tool, it's more of a performance monitoring tool, or overall we talk about a tool which helps organizations in project planning and control, which it is not. Most of them are poorly constructed, and the ones which are poorly constructed are poorly implemented as well. Less than 10% of strategies effectively formulated are effectively executed. What does this mean? Is most of the organization, something is breaking down in the performance management chain. When we talk about performance management, we talk about things which look something like this, where the top management is establishing long-term goals, strategies, defining various vision, mission, and quality policies, and that is getting percolated down the line to the front end. When I say this, normally it looks something like this, where the planning as a function is done at the top level, and there's no say of all the stakeholders. That is something like the policies are defined in isolation, or the strategies are made only by the top bosses and are communicated down the line, rather than onboarding certain more levels of the hierarchy in this. And then the expected reporting has to happen from bottom to top. So it is always like linked to the staff feedbacks and rewards. First you define your vision, you define your mission, long-term goals, strategies, then you kind of lay out a strategic plan how to achieve them. Further you translate them or break them into annual plans, targets, immediate achievables, so on and so forth. Then you start communicating with the important stakeholders and try to align their own goals with that of organizations. Then you try to manage things effectively in terms of its implementation. Finally, you try measuring it through reporting tools, and then you link it to the staff rewards. Whereas the reporting happens from bottom to top. This is where a very traditional model comes in. Now, it talks about the balance scorecard, talks about organizations which are strategy focused. So it is the main management tool that has been used successfully in various fields, right from private, public sectors to profit or not-for-profit organizations, across the industries, across service companies, across product companies. And here the major difference is the organization's focus is always kept on strategy rather than planning or on day-to-day management. So it's something like the strategy focused organization is where the core part is the strategy and all the management revolves around the strategy. In this workshop, we're going to talk about what strategy focused organization, how do we develop balanced scorecards. Okay. Now, this is one question that I keep asking people in all my workshops, and I have got very different answers. Something funny that I must tell you, that half the people who come to my workshops have not read their vision statement or even not aware about company's mission or strategic policies. They feel that these are just the words which are supposed to motivate people. and do not serve any other purpose than this. Sometimes they feel that these statements are written only for ISO compliance reports and for audits, which is not the case. Mission is what we do. Okay, what is that we are doing? Vision is what we aspire to be. Strategies is how are we going to achieve it? And measures, these are indicators of our progress. For example, if I say that we are a software testing company, okay, so what we do is mission. We do software testing, A, by providing right kind of manpower to the people. B is in terms of getting system testing. C is in terms of load balancing testing, so on and so forth. What we aspire to be is, I say by 2030, I would like to be the best software testing company in India. Now that is what I aspire to be. Now, how do I get over there is what my strategy is. And then there is a tool which measures everything. Now, whenever we are putting this strategy, there is always an environmental scan that we have to put it. We have to look at an external environmental factors which are impacting the strategies. We need to look at our own strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, SWOT model, or then we have PEST model where we talk about political, economic, social and technological areas. What are core values that I carry with me? Okay, and how do I get people onboarded with my mission and vision? So from one lens onwards, when I look at, it all starts at vision and mission, then goes further to values, then talks about SWOT or the external factors. Now when I talk about business strategy, now this is one word which is used and abused many times, okay, to the extent that people always mistake strategy with their day-to-day planning function, which it is not. Strategy is more to achieve short-term and long-term goals, not our day-to-day planning. Okay, this comprises of various things like my futuristic thinking, what is that I have planned for my organization, for my people, my strategic intents. With this, where do I see myself? How do I get over there? Then comes strategic planning in terms of aligning it month-wise, quarter-wise, week-wise, so on and so forth. Then I analyze or evaluate, that is what the measurement is. And then I talk about what are the types of strategies. These are financial strategies, marketing strategies, or branding strategies, so on and so forth. And of course, what kind of culture that I have built in the organization to back it up. Okay, now this is one model that I have taken which explains the gap between strategy and action. One of the reasons why only 10% of the organizations reach to the level that they've planned. Okay, for example, I am looking at 4 strategic outcomes. A, my shareholders are satisfied. There's more shareholder value that I am going to create, more profits. My customers are delighted, so they're happy customers. They are going to be with the company for a long time. Efficient and effective processes that I have established so that my entire organization is running on autopilot mode, and of course motivated and prepared workforce to take it ahead. Now this is where I start. Mission is why I exist. We are the company which is, let's say, ISO 9001, 14-year-old company, so on and so forth. And our norms are, we are really good in terms of customer feedback. Values is what is important to us. For example, when I talk about Quantum, we talk about 4 core values, which is quality, commitment, ethics, and reliability. These are things which are non-negotiable for us. Quality in terms of delivery of our training programs, quality in terms of selecting the vendors, employees, partners, so on and so forth. Then comes what we aspire to be. So by 2030, if we aspire to be India's largest training company, okay, That is because we exist. And then I formulate a strategy which is called my game plan. And now I have communicated it down the line. Will I be in a position to achieve my strategic outcome? Okay, the answer is still there is a gap. I have created a beautiful vision for my organization that by 2030 we need to be number one. Okay, I have got core values in place that integrity, honesty, ethics, reliability, qualitative parameters which are non-negotiable to us. Mission, as we have been into business for and known for our high level of customization or bigger value for our customers, so on and so forth. For example, Apple is known for providing value to its customers, okay, for the money. And then still there remains a gap. What can actually fill in this gap is the strategic initiatives and linking it with my personal objectives.